Well, after hearing everything you did with Victoria Lindsay, once again, I'm definitely glad I'm going to have you on the Wacko Weekly show. For those that don't know me, once again, my name is Wacko Bob, and I host a show called the Wacko Weekly. And don't be fooled by the name, as it does go through every avenue from issues to entertainment to politics to sports to my first show, the dark matches, wrestling, and it goes to everyday life. And Ariel, I've always been impressed by you when I found your videos since this weekend actually, and which ultimately led to me finding you on MySpace and getting you for a future date on my show. For those that don't know, Ariel will be on my radio show, the Wacko Weekly. And there's a lot that can be said about this case involving Victoria Lindsay, and all of it totally sides with Victoria Lindsay. I've been seeing some of the text responses that have been done, and all I can say is I don't know what these kids are thinking defending these girls and the two guys, making them out to be the victims. The only victim here was Victoria Lindsay. The only shocker I can think about right now is the fact that a couple of these girls that were involved in this were cheerleaders themselves. This is wrong, and the difference between some of these other things you've seen on MySpace and YouTube as far as the teen fighting and all this is Victoria Lindsay did not fight these girls. Now, let me say this to add on to some things here. There's one thing I disagree with that's been said here for the people that do side with Victoria Lindsay. And that is the fact that they praise her for not having the guts to fight back. There's nothing wrong with fighting back, especially if it's in self-defense. And Victoria Lindsay did not try to do that. Whether there were 6 girls there beating her, whether there were 16 girls there beating her, whether there were 60 girls there to beat her. If you fight back in self-defense, in a self-defense manner, then there's nothing wrong with that. Victoria Lindsay, all she wanted to do was turn the other cheek and leave. They didn't let her leave. They wanted to... I'm led to believe that they actually wanted to kill this girl. And my guess was, when I hear all this, that they were to take her over to CVS Pharmacy and finish her off. They just wanted to leave her laying somewhere where she can just suffer and die, where no one would see her or help her. That's one feeling and one theory that I have about the matter. And to you buffoons and you idiots that don't want to stick to the subject matter here in the text, and you want to sit there and say stupid stuff instead, or you want to sit there and say that Ariel is full of crap when it comes down to this, grow up. Look at the matter for what it is. Don't sit there and be a sympathizer with the criminal. Did Victoria Lindsay deserve to have her rights violated like they were when they kidnapped her and took her to a house totally against her will, physically like they did? Yes, they were. Did Victoria Lindsay at least try to turn the other cheek and leave? Yeah, she did. Should Victoria Lindsay have maybe tried something to try to get out of the house, and see if she could just simply get away? She could have tried something like that. I would have held nothing against Victoria Lindsay for trying to do that. Bottom line is here, in all this defense, Victoria Lindsay had a bright future ahead of her. And she had a good thing going with the good head she had on her shoulders. She was great in school, and I don't mean just as a cheerleader. She took her studies seriously, and she was working. This was a girl who was looking towards her future, and now her whole life has changed forever. And that future possibly taken away from her probably is, no matter how much she recovers from this, and no matter how much she gets past this. Ariel, my hat is off to you big time, because you are doing the right thing here. I am glad you're doing the right thing. I'm glad you're using this as a forum. And and people need to understand that part of it. All you guys, and some of these things that I've seen you guys write about, look past it for a change. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Don't even bother going to it if you don't like what she's saying. If all you can do is sit there and think of the flesh, grow up! Don't reply. Ariel's trying to make some serious points here, and she made those points, and she convinced me enough that I should have her on the Wacko Weekly, which is going to be happening in probably about another week or two from this Saturday. I'm hoping to have her on a June 14th date, or maybe June 21st. But Ariel's going to be on there, and we are going to dive into this matter. And Ariel, it's good to meet you like I got to. It's good to know that we talked on MySpace and we're getting this arranged to have you on the show as a guest. Only good things should be said about you. Let's get one thing straight here. Ariel's doing some good for a girl who was ultimately raped mentally. They have taken away this girl's sense of security. They've taken away her mental stability. They've taken a lot of physical things away from her. And they've taken away the future of this girl with a bright heart. She didn't want to be beaten up. She just wanted to turn the other cheek and leave. And she should have been able to. It's going to be great when I have you on the show, Ariel. I'm looking forward to it. We'll definitely talk more. And for those of you who can't deal with it, grow up. Victoria Lindsay and her family, live on. You deserve everything. You deserve everything. And to those 8 girls, I hope you get what you deserve. Because honestly, you're all being tried as adults. Some of you might get things reduced to misdemeanors just because you're the youngest in the pack. But I'll tell you this. For most of those teenage girls and for those guys, let's see them try and make it in the prison. Where they can just as easily have 6 or 7 prisoners take turns beating on them. And when they try to fight back, they'll be just as helpless as Victoria Lindsay was. Let's see how you feel about that. Go through that. The only difference between you and Victoria Lindsay is you won't have a mother or father there to cuddle you after you've been victimized. So guess what? It's over. Just as much as Victoria Lindsay's life has changed, your life has changed. And to Ariel, peace out. We'll be talking soon. And tune into the Wacko Weekly every Saturday, especially at the special time at 4:30 this Saturday. We'll talk soon, Ariel. Keep up the good work on your end over there.